Hi guys, and welcome back to Nostalgic MoonTV. So for today's video, I'll actually be showing you some more of my recent VHS purchases from Goodwill. So Nostalgic MoonTV is going to be aimed at everything nostalgia from any kind of decade. So if you love nostalgia as much as I do, make sure to give me a subscribe, like, as well as share. I'll be doing ASMR, role-playing, food-related reviews, as well as reactions. So make sure to subscribe so that you won't miss any of my videos. So as you can see behind me, these are my new VHSs. This side right here is going to be more or less the clamshell, family movie type side. And then this side I have some other different genres. So I'll be going back and forth, just showing you some of my new recent VHSs. So get your popcorn ready, sit back and relax, and let's get right into today's video. So first VHS clamshell we have at the top, it's going to be 1991's Beauty and the Beast. I absolutely love this movie, the animation. Now, I can't remember the last time I actually viewed this. Be kind of rewind, guys. Always be kind of rewind. So yeah, this is such a great movie, and I really love how, the dishes and the candlelight all start talking and singing. It's such a classic movie. All right. Next, we have Walt Disney's Angel in the Outfield. So I have not seen this in a while. It stars Danny Glover, Tony Danza, and Christopher Lloyd. Look at that animation. So let me read the back on this one. So it says, catch the movie that flew over the fence and into the hearts of millions of cheering fans. It's Disney's Angels in the Outfield, the feel-good film of the year about a young boy praying for a father and a struggling baseball team praying for a pennant. Now, Danny Glover plays George Knox, the frustrated coach of the California Angels, a ragtag team of major league misfits who are down on their luck. But things begin to look up when 11-year-old Roger, their biggest fan, starts giving Knox some winning tips from a real live angel named Al, played by Christopher Lloyd. The team miraculously climbs back into the pennant race, all the while learning to believe in themselves. With its heavenly mix of outrageous comedy, dazzling special effects, and amazing baseball action, Disney's Angel in the Outfield is an entertainment home run for the whole family. So let me know, have you seen Angels in the Outfield? How did you like the movie? Again, I haven't seen this in a while, and so that was one of the main reasons why I decided to go ahead and buy that VHS. Alright guys, what's next? Actually, let me go over onto this side. So I got Tom Cruise's Cocktail. Now, I had never seen this movie, but I had heard great things about this movie. So first, when I seen it on VHS, I just had to have it. I like the cocktail sign and how it's neon. It kind of gives that 80s feel. When I seen this, I was absolutely in love when I watched it for the first time. So let's read what it's about on the back. So Tom Cruise is electrifying as Brian Flanagan, a young, confident, and ambitious bartender who, with the help of a seasonal pro, Brian Brown from Gorillas in the Mist, becomes the toast of Manhattan's Upper East Side. But when he moves to Jamaica and meets an independent artist, their vivid romance brings a new perspective to the self-centered bartender's life. Sizzling with high-powered performances and a #1 hit soundtrack, the box office blockbuster Cocktail has it all. Again, guys, this is Cocktail, starring Tom Cruise. All right, and this is one of my favorite comedy movies of all time. This is Eddie Murphy as well as Martin Lawrence, and they're playing in Life. This movie is so funny. If I'm not mistaken, it was released in 1999, and this is the Universal Special Edition VHS copy. Look at the back. Look at their haircuts. It's so cool. So this special edition feature, so it has a spotlight on the location, so it's talking more about the location where the movie was filmed, and then you get 10-minute behind the scenes look at the making of life, including interviews with the cast and crew. So if you're not familiar, guys, Eddie Murphy is the fast-talking con artist Rayford Gibson, and Martin Lawrence is the conservative bank teller Claude Banks. The two are accidentally teamed up to become the funniest odd couple east of the Mississippi. In an effort to pay off Ray's debit and restore Claude's reputation, they travel south on a bootlegging run for some quick cash. There's no limit to their comical misfortune as they are placed at the scene of a crime and the mistaken identities land them right in front of the judge. This hysterical comedy gives a whole new meaning to Friends for Life. This is a good movie again, guys. That is one of my favorite comedy movies of all time. All right, and here we have Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels' Dumb and Dumber. So actually, guys, no judgment, I still have not looked at this VHS, and I still have never seen Dumb and Dumber before. It just comes off, a very silly comedic movie, and it's definitely on my list. Thus the reason for me buying the VHS, so I'll definitely be looking at that soon. All my VHSs are rewound. So this is Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels are too lame to live life and too dense to die. As a pair of deliriously dim-witted pals on a cross-country road trip to return a briefcase full of cash to its rightful owner, along the way they'll confound cops, kidnappers, and anyone and everyone who has the misfortune of crossing their paths in this comic caper for every idiot in the family. So here we have Dumb and Dumber, guys. Let's go back to the family side, shall we? So here we have another Walt Disney classic. We have Rick Moranis and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Okay, this is one of my absolute favorite movies. I absolutely love Honey, I Blew Up the Kid and Honey, We Shrunk Ourselves, or Honey, I Shrunk Ourselves. This is another clamshell case. Got that animation looking amazing. Let's open it up. This clamshell case is actually in really, really good shape. Only thing we have here is that Walt Disney sticker. But I try to make sure I go ahead and clean all of my cases. So again, we have Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Let me know if this is one of your favorites and which one you like the most out of the trilogy. Alright, next we have Little Mermaid, guys. Look. Ariel up there, and this is actually the fully restored special edition, and you have, even though it's a clam case, you have the gold here. It's THX certified. You can see Ursula there, Flounder. Look on the side. Doesn't this look good, guys? And you have on the back. And I actually have not looked at this in a while. And like I said, there's just certain movies that I feel should be purchased on VHS because that was originally what they were released on. And so this is just an amazing movie, guys. And for this specific one, they have a bonus, a never before seen music video of Part of Your World. There. 1989 Best Original Score, Best Song, Under the Sea. Under the sea. So this clam case, it has a little bit of discoloration. As you can see, it's a little yellow there, but still for the most part in really, really good shape. And let's read on the back what this amazing movie is about, even though it's a classic. So all the music, fun, and excitement under the sea resurface in this magical special edition of Disney's 28th animated masterpiece. Awash with breathtaking animation, unforgettably colorful characters, and 2 Academy Awards for score and song, Under the Sea, The Little Mermaid is one of Disney's most cherished films. Ariel, the fun-loving, mischievous mermaid, is enchanted with all things human. Disregarding her father's order to stay away from the world above the sea, she swims to the surface and in a raging storm rescues the prince of her dreams. Now determined to be human, she strikes a bargain with the devious sea witch Ursula and trades her fins and beautiful voice for legs. With her best friend, an adorable and chatty flounder, and her reluctant chaperone, Sebastian, the hilarious reggae singing Caribbean crab at her side, Ariel must win the princess' love and save her father's kingdom, all in a heart-pounding race against time. Little Mermaid, guys. Alright, what's next? What side? You know what? Let's go with this side. So, I still have one left. I do not have Raiders of the Lost Ark, but here we have Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom and Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Alright, so let's look at Temple of Doom. This is actually my favorite movie out of the series. I know at the time it was one of the main reasons that there was a such thing as a PG-13 rating after the fact, because Temple of Doom was very, very gruesome, or can be gruesome. So of course, spoiler alert, the part where one of the villains like rips somebody's heart right out of its chest is such a good movie. But again, we have Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. One of my favorites. All right, let's read the back. So this came out in 1984. It's, of course, a George Lucas film. So it says, Indiana Jones, the daredevil archaeologist who saved mankind in Raiders of the Lost Ark, is back in one of the biggest box office smashes in history. This time, Indy's out to find the famous Ankara Stone and to save hundreds of children who have been enslaved to a mysterious cult in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Now, in an action-packed masterpiece of special effects and edge-of-your-seat adventure, Harrison Ford leads an incredible cast in this breathtaking epic shot on 3 continents by the film's creators George Lucas and Steven Spielberg. Wonderful movie. And here we have Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Now this stars one of my favorite actors, Sean Connery. Rest in peace, Sean Connery. That artwork is just so amazing. Then you have the back of the case here. In this case, it is in really, really good shape. This movie was released in 1989, and on the back it states, if you think keeping up with one Jones is exciting, try keeping up with 2 of them. Harrison Ford dons his rumpled fedora for the 3rd time as Indiana Jones, and Sean Connery joins the thrill-a-minute film as Indy's feisty dad. Filmmakers Steven Spielberg and George Lucas make sure this father-son duo never lack for adventure. The Joneses set out to find the mysteriously empowered Holy Grail and encounter so many spectacular pursuits and narrow escapes that Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade is more than the culmination of Indy's exploits. It's the greatest adventure in film history. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, guys. Again, I do have to get the other one, Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is the first one in the series. Okay, and let's go ahead and go with this side as well. So if you'll remember, in my last video, I actually had already purchased Jurassic Park, but it was unopened. So I figured I'd go ahead and get another one that's actually open, and I went ahead and left the other one in the wrap that it was in. So you have Jurassic Park, and then the Lost World Jurassic Park. And look at the front, look at that holographic case. It's so, so amazing. Jurassic Park is definitely one of my favorite movies. It's another Steven Spielberg film. And to me, Steven Spielberg, he's just so, so talented. Look at the back there. And one of my favorite actors, Jeff Goldblum, is in this movie. This was released in 1993. Okay. And then let's go to now Jurassic Park 2, The Lost World. And on the front it says, something has survived. And on the back, and then that's my guy there, Jeff Goldblum. So this movie, also a Steven Spielberg film, of course, was released in 1997. Let's read what's on the back. So directed by Steven Spielberg, this film picks up 4 years after the disaster at Jurassic Park on a nearby island. Now, dinosaurs have secretly survived and been allowed to roam free, but now there is a more ominous threat, a plan to capture and bring the dinosaurs to the mainland. Bad idea. John Hammond, who has lost control of his engine company, sees a chance to redeem himself for his past mistakes and sends an expedition led by Ian Malcolm, Jeff Goldblum, guys, to reach the island before the mercenary team gets there. The two groups confront each other in the face of extreme danger and must team up for their own survival in a race against time. With more dinosaurs and more action and more visual effects than the first recorded breaking film, The Lost World, based on the thrilling bestseller by Michael Crichton, with a screenplay by Devin Keough, and also stars Julianne Moore, Pete Postlethwaite, Arliss Howard, Vince Vaughn, and Vanessa Chester. I just really like the cover of that. Do they still have DVDs or movies being released with those on the cover? Like, seriously, that's really cool. All right, and next we have a classic. We have E.T. Phone Home. The story that touched the world. And this specific VHS features special interviews with Steven Spielberg and members of the cast as well as the production team. Now, this is a classic. This is another movie that I haven't seen in a while, and I just felt like that since E.T. was first on VHS, that of course buy it on VHS. So look at him on the back. This is such a great movie. An hour and 55 minutes. This came out in 1982. I wasn't even born yet, guys. So unfortunately, I have not been able to see this in theaters, but it's okay. So let's read the back. One golden summer, a lost little visitor from another planet found a permanent home in the hearts and minds of audiences around the world. Steven Spielberg and Amblin Entertainment invite you to experience the most popular film of all time, hailed by the New Yorker as the most moving science fiction movie ever made on Earth. When lovely 10-year-old Elliot meets the lovable alien who just wants to find a way home, the lives of both are changed by a friendship that knows no earthly bounds. Earning Oscars for its striking musical score, glorious sound, and wondrous special effects, this captivating classic enfolds everyone in the embrace of its magical touch. And now special scenes, behind-the-scenes footage, and all new E.T. retrospective features, interviews Steven Spielberg, Drew Barrymore, and Henry Thomas, and more members of the cast and production team make the film more enchanting forever. Now, it's nominated for 9 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. It's a thrilling, joyous adventure the entire family will cherish forever. So guys, if you were able to see E.T. in theaters, let me know in the comments below how it was to look at that on the big screen, because again, I was not born at the time, so I was unfortunately not able to see E.T. the extraterrestrial. And you know, another thing that I recently learned within the last couple of years is that Michael Jackson actually did a vinyl storybook for the E.T. and it was basically like a companionship for that movie, and he did a vinyl storybook for that. How cool is that, guys? All right, and next we have one of my favorites. That's right, guys, Titanic. Now, I actually went ahead and bought this again. There's another copy in my hometown at my parents' home, but this movie holds a lot of weight for me, guys. Titanic is one of my favorite movies. When it first came out, I was 10 years old. I went to see it in theaters a good 3 to 4 times. Cried it every time I went with my mom. Of course, when it was released, it was a part 1 and a part 2. The winner, guys, of 11 Academy Awards, including Best Picture. And then on the back, it just has some more of the awards, and it has Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet, Jack and Rose. And I might just have to do a separate, video about Titanic and just what it means to me. But it even holds up, guys. Like, I watched it recently. I also have this on Blu-ray, and it's also on several streaming services. I really like how James Cameron took its time, and yes, the movie is 3 hours and 30 minutes, but there's character development. The soundtrack is amazing. The music effects, the set design, the costume design, and just the storyline itself, it really brings you in with the characters and makes you feel like that you know the characters from each character's point of view. Alright, so again, this is part 1. See the back there, and of course part 2, if I'm not mistaken, that starts right when they hit the iceberg, and so you have the last part of that movie. And this, guys, is in amazing shape. There's just a little bit of wear and tear there on the corners, but for the most part, this is in great shape. And I apologize if that was a little loud, but again, this has been digitally mastered for surround sound, superior sound, and picture quality by THX. That was the main company, guys, where, after a movie would come out on VHS and it would be, re-released and remastered in that sound, you will always see that THX back there. Okay, and here we have the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. And I don't really know, all of the characters' names or anything, but one of the main reasons why I love Winnie the Pooh and the reason why it's nostalgic for me is because Sears was my favorite job, and I used to be a MCA, which is a merchandising customer assistant. And so I was basically responsible for cleaning out the fitting rooms, doing price checks, and making sure that I'm folding clothes and stuff and just keeping that sales floor clean. And so whenever I would work the children's department, they would have a TV that would play this, and I would work for like 4 or 5 hours, would play this over and over again. And I became to love it. And like I said, it's a sense of nostalgia for me. So I just had to have it on video. Got the nice clamshell there. And here we have another Walt Disney favorite and masterpiece. We have Pocahontas, guys. We have the back there. Of course, nice illustration. Look inside. This is so cool, guys. All right, let's read the back. So Disney's most beautifully animated masterpiece boldly brings to life a fun-filled adventure of hope, courage, and friendship. True to the spirit of every Disney classic, Pocahontas becomes the #1 family film of the year, bursting with all the colors of the wind. Along Virginia's lush tidewaters, Pocahontas, the free-spirited young daughter of Chief Powhatan, wonders what adventure awaits just around the river bend. They took that from the song. In sails the gold-loving Governor Ratcliffe with his pampered pug Percy and a ship full of English settlers led by the courageous Captain John Smith. Joined by her playful pals Mako, a mischievous raccoon, and feisty hummingbird Philip, Pocahontas relies on the lively wisdom of grandmother Willow. A chance meeting with Captain Smith leads to a friendship that will change history as the Native American and English settlers learn to live side by side. Featuring the #1 hit soundtrack that Teens Academy Award-winning composer Alan Menken with Broadway veteran Stephen Schwartz and an all-star voice cast, Pocahontas surrounds you with the richest of another glowing winner of Disney's animated hit parade. So guys, we have here Pocahontas. All right, let's go back to the other side. This is Star Wars 1, The Phantom Menace. And this started the second trilogy of that original trilogy of Star Wars. And this was really cool. So basically, one of its purposes was to show that backstory of how Darth Vader became Darth Vader. And as you can see on the front again, this has been digitally mastered. THX. And on the back, it says, every generation has a legend, every journey has a first step, and every saga has a beginning. Return to a galaxy far, far and away in the first chapter of the mystic Star Wars saga. So it's set 30 years before the original Star Wars film. Episode 1 introduces young Anakin Skywalker aboard with special powers, unaware that the journey he is beginning will transform him into the evil Darth Vader. Now, Obi-Wan Kenobi, the wise old Jedi from the original series, is a determined young apprentice, and Palpatine, well known as the evil Emperor, is an ambitious senator in the Galactic Republic. It is a time when the Jedi Knights are the guardians of peace in a turbulent galaxy, and a young queen fights to save her people. In the shadows lurks an evil force waiting for the right moment to strike. And this was released in 1999, guys. And I always love Padme, or Queen Amidala. I always loved her makeup and her outfits from that film. Alright, and let's get back to the other side. Here we have another amazing classic. This is a Warner Brothers movie, but also in that clamshell, we have Dennis the Menace. Now, this movie is so funny. It says it's America's classic kid and a classic comedy. And on the front here, we have a sticker, and this gives a little nostalgia as well. It says good thinking there on the sticker. How cool is that? So right here on the front of Warner Brothers, we have Bugs Bunny there, and it says Warner Brothers Family Entertainment. And I'm starting to really, really like, guys, just the animation and how the cover of these are drawn. Like it's almost like a, you know, spectacle. Then on the back, hey, Mr. Wilson. Let me see if I can find, this came out in 1993. This movie is hilarious. And I think recently they actually had it on a streaming service. I don't know if it was on Hulu or Netflix. It might have been HBO Max, because you know HBO Max has a lot of Warner Brothers movies and stuff now. All right, and last on the family side, we have Chicken Run here. And I really, really love Chicken Run. This is, again, an amazing cover. And it says the year's funniest movie. So let's see when it actually came out, if it's on the back, guys. Okay, this came out in 2000. And another reason why I like this movie is because it's claymation or clay animation. So it's like this, it utilizes like the start stop, and it looks real. So let's read what's on the back. It says superb family fun. Unlike anything ever seen on the big screen, Chicken Run is the year's most original comedy, hailed by critics and audiences alike as magical entertainment for all ages. While the chickens on evil Mrs. Tweety's farm dream of a better life, a clever hen named Ginger is hatching plans to fly the coop, per se, for good. The only problem is chickens can't fly, or can they? Every escape attempt goes foul until Rocky, a smooth-talking all-American rooster, crash lands into the coop. It's hardly poultry in motion where Rocky attempts to teach Ginger and her fine feathered friends to fly with teamwork, determination, and a little bit of cluck. That's funny. With fearless flop plops. One last daring attempt in a spectacular bid for freedom. And its runtime is 1 hour and 24 minutes. Again, guys, this is the animated Chicken Run. All right, and last but certainly not least, we have the original Star Wars Trilogy. Okay, we have Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. So let's look at each one individually. So we have Star Wars: A New Hope. We have Darth Vader on the front, and this is not the original cover or the original poster for the movie, but this is still really cool. It's been digitally mastered and remastered by THX, just like the others. And then on the back, we have Princess Leia, Han Solo, Chewbacca. We have Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Obi-Wan. And this is really, really good. This came out in 1977. So Star Wars is the ultimate in cinematic entertainment. Writer-director George Lucas's unrivaled passion for space, fantasy, adventure, and romance is captured on screen with groundbreaking special effects and extraordinary space creatures. Princess Leia, played by Carrie Fisher, rest in peace Carrie, is held hostage by the evil Emperor forces in their effort to quell the rebellion against the Galactic Empire. Luke Skywalker and Captain Han Solo team together with the lovable droid duo R2-D2 and C-3PO to rescue the beautiful princess and restore justice in the galaxy. So we have A New Hope there first. All right, and then next, guys, we have The Empire Strikes Back, and you have a stormtrooper on the front and on the back. And this originally came out in 1980, and this VHS was re-released in 1995. And this spellbinding Star Wars sequel, the battle to save the galaxy from the evil empire, rages on. Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, Princess Leia, and Chewbacca face attack by the Imperial forces and its AT-AT walkers on the ice planet Hoth. While Han and Leia escape in the Millennium Falcon, Luke travels to Dagobah in search of Yoda. Only with the Jedi's master's help will Luke survive when the dark side of the Force beckons him into an ultimate duel with Darth Vader. An amazing array of special effects, blazing action, and imagination, The Empire Strikes Back has been hailed as one of the greatest motion pictures ever made. Released in 1980. All right, and last but not least, guys, we have Return of the Jedi with Yoda on the front. Then you have Palpatine, Darth Vader, and Luke Skywalker. And on the back here, so cool. All right, so the Millennium Millennium Falcon flashes through hyperspace, and creatures from all over the galaxy defy the Galactic Empire in this stunning chapter of the Star Wars saga. Now, after rescuing Han Solo, Harrison Ford, and Princess Leia from certain doom at the hands of crime Lord Jabba the Hutt. Where was I? Jabba the Hutt, Jabba the Hutt, Jabba the Hutt. Luke rejoins Yoda. Only by completing his Jedi training can he become a true Jedi Knight and defeat Darth Vader and the dark side of the Force, with favorites like Chewbacca, R2-D2, C-3PO, plus the small but stalwart Ewoks. Return of the Jedi takes a Star Wars adventure to new heights of excitement. And look, here's one of the Ewoks here. Isn't he so cute? That trilogy there. They are in amazing shape. But guys, I really hope that you enjoyed my VHS movie haul. Make sure to keep the discussion going and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I appreciate you watching with me. I hope I was able to offer you some relaxation, and make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, as well as share, and I'll see you next time, guys. Peace.